once said, "For everything, there's a season. There's a season for giving, a season for taking, a season for eating, and a season for not eating, a season for winter, and a season for spring. For all things, there is a season." That's the message of that one song. So, do everything at the right time is really the message of that song. Don't do it at the wrong time. Do it in season. Don't try to pick strawberries in the dead of winter. That would be out of season. Hi, G. How are you? I hear you're considering getting an operation to become a very sensual lady. Is it true? Or is that just the rumor mill at it again? Those rumor mongerers. Who knows what you can even do with them? I'll pull up the chat on the big screen here in a second. Let me just try to some of this excessive resin that is impeding the functionality of my bong. There. That's a little bit better. Should probably change the water too. Might as well just change the water. Let me bring up this on the big screen first. Live. Here we are. We're live now. Hi, Caroline. How are you today? I hope that you are well. I hope that you know the spirit of adventure within your heart and that it pleases you. For those who didn't hear, I mentioned it, I think, earlier in the live stream, but Andrew from Desert Drifters died. I mean, we knew he got in a bad car accident. I figured it probably wasn't going to ever be the same, but he died. Hi, Carlos Paeva. Yeah, I don't know who this so-called Eric fellow is, if that is his real name. I finally decided it's time for me to be skeptical about myself, so I don't have such a double standard. Do I really know my name's Eric? All I know is that I don't know anything, not even my own name, because that's what true philosophers think. Anywho, I am about to start a poker tournament. I figured might as well just live stream rather than say, watch this basketball game I don't care that much about, which was another option. Or potentially listen to music or something. Yeah, Eric. That's what he says his name is. He says he's some kind of host of something. I don't believe a word this fucker says, I tell you. He has liar written all over him. Okay. Now let's pull this bowl. This is a special treated bowl. Hello, Stephen Cento? A bat and ball costs $1.10. The bat costs $1 more than the ball. How much does the ball cost? Well, that costs $1 more. Hold on, I'm playing poker at the same time. That costs $1 more than the ball. So the ball must be well, the ball must be So then the bat costs $1 more than the ball, and together they cost $1.10. So it would have to be 5 cents. 5 cents. I'm going with 5 cents. Am I right? Are you saying it took so long that nuclear war started? Well, I didn't sleep last night. I'm a little slow. All right, cut me some slack. I'm slow like the winner of the sprint to the Special Olympics. Just say not very fast. I don't know. Who knows what this guy's got? He beats me. He outkicks me. We both had the 10, but he outkicked me. That's fine. The last couple of days, I played a couple of satellites. Last few days, where it costs $11 to enter, and if you finish in the top, you get a ticket to enter the $100 tournament, which is tomorrow. I got 2 of them. That's pretty good. It's better than bad. Like super even. We got 2 tickets to paradise, exactly. So I could bust out of the $100 tournament tomorrow and then rebuy with just these 2 tickets, costing me, instead of $220, costing me only $22. Currently, I'm playing in an $11 tournament. We just got started with this one. Hi there, RP McMurphy 47. Would you rather be able to travel through time or travel to different worlds, galaxies, etc.? Well, there are those who would argue that time travel necessarily necessitates, well, don't be redundant there, but necessitates movement in space. After all, if you don't move when you time travel, then the Earth has moved away from you and you're someplace else now, because the Earth's in motion. But obviously, I would rather have different worlds and galaxies. To just answer the question instead of being all persnickety about it. I would rather be able to go different places and not have to deal with time travel. Like, be able to say, okay, Rachel, I'm going to head off to Zargon Galaxy to visit this planet that looks interesting. I'll be back by 5 p.m. That'd be great, That'd be exciting. It would also defy Einstein's relativity. I mean, sure, you could come up with some wormhole thing or media. Time would be an NI-DOM's answer? I don't know about that, because I think the way we conceptualize time travel is traveling to a place and period, like the Old West or, the Middle Ages. Nobody's traveling faster than light on my watch, okay? I'm nixing that right at the gate. There ain't no faster than light travel. Ain't never gonna be no faster than light travel. Ain't never been no faster than light travel. If there were, we'd see aliens all over the place. They froze light. Yeah, well, that's what they say. But the truth is, the light was simply very cold. It was shivering. Ain't no information faster than light, no spooky action at a distance don't count none, because you got to take it up there. It's like dragging something up to the top of a hill and then having it roll down. You didn't just magically get energy down a hill from nothing. you pushed it up the hill in the first place. Same thing with the so-called spooky action at a distance. You see what I'm saying? These charlatans, I agree with you. Charlatans and their dark matter and their dark energy. More like dark bullshit. So-called scientists. More like Scientologists. Oh, well, I missed all of my draws. I'm going to have to fold. So be it. So it goes. I don't like Scientologists. I think they're bad. Does that make me a groupist? I don't know. I watch this channel, and granted, I'm only hearing really one side of the story. But I watch this channel by this ex-Scientologist guy, and boy, it really makes me think Scientology is bad. Strong FI. Yes, my FI is strong. I can lift objects with just my feelings. I really, really want my flashlight over here. Oh, but you're so precious to me. Come here. What's it like? Newton's cradle. Maybe that way we can exchange info faster than light. With whom? Nobody wants your faster than light information. Nobody can read that fast. Okay? Carlos Paiva, nobody can read that fast. Not even Julia Child, famous for her speed reading skills. Not even Julia Child can read that fast. So I guess that means you are wrong. And another case solved by Eric. Exchange info faster than light. The whole point of relativity is that, our frame of reference for what instantaneous is light. It doesn't get more instantaneous than that. You know? You got to think of it in terms of the photon clock thought experiment. From inside the ship, the photon seems to be bouncing back and forth, keeping time perfectly nice, right? But from outside the ship, the faster the ship's going, the further distance the light actually has to travel. And ergo, meow. You realize you're in kind of Truman Show, right? Everything around you is staged, every person is an actor. You think that's the case for me right now? Are you an actor? I don't feel like I'm an actor. If it's all staged, then wouldn't I be part of staging it for somebody else? Or is it all staged just for me? That seems unlikely. I mean, it would be appropriate. I deserve that much attention. But nevertheless, it seems unlikely. It's all staged just for me. Wow. I am flattered. I'm glad that somebody out there recognizes my importance. Because, that's fairly unusual. Leave the grass alone, you perv. Oh. William, you're fine. There's nothing perverted about touching grass. As long as you don't say, this is amazing. Oh shit, they're coming for me. I have to change my IP real quick. Okay, you should change it to 473. You're a grassaholic because you like to touch so much grassahole. Jimmy J. Jacobs says, sup, y'all. And in reply, I'll say, not much. Sup with you. Or shall I say, hey, girl. I guess that's the hot new slang these days. Hey, 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 smoke weed every day. You're smoking crack cocaine. Wow. I can't help but be a little bit jealous of that. I mean, I don't really want to smoke any crack, but it's like, dang, you're really making the most of your Saturday. How easy is it for me to type people out in public? I don't generally make an effort to do so. If I'm not thinking about it unless somebody screams a certain type, you know? Like, for example, there's this store where Rachel and I went to get this pipe over here. And we've gone in there a few times. I feel pretty confident that the guy who's worked in there, who's like the husband of the owner of the place, I think. Anyway, I'm pretty sure he's ESFP, just from engaging with him a little bit on a few occasions. But I wouldn't, I haven't formally typed him. He just comes across as such. Normally, though, I don't think about it. Normally, people don't come across that much as something. You're pretty much going to have to be an extrovert to come across a lot as anything, right? Because introverts, if they're just being quiet, they all look the same. I don't want to wait for my life to be over. Okay, I don't want to wait for my life to be over. Who typed who? Jimmy J. Jacobs. I typed you as ISFP. ESI. You mean ethical sensory introvert? What? Oh yeah, I won, right? Yeah, I did. Okay. That's Vertist. What's Vertist? People who are against advertisements. FISE. I see. Yeah, okay. So that's ISFP. It's against introverts or extroverts. I'm just saying, if I'm going to notice somebody's type, it's much more likely that they're going to be an extrovert, right? Because there's not that much to notice about somebody just being quiet. Would a Tesla Cybertruck be solid enough to protect me against eggs thrown by an adult male? I have no idea. It's ugly enough to make adult males throw eggs at you. I know that. But whether it both incentivizes and protects against the egg throwing concurrently, I don't know. I'm not that much of an expert on those things. It's about the utility of the thing. I mean, are they useful? They're not even trucks, are they? They're just weird looking, like, rhombuses. Everything about that car makes you say rhombus. Who wants to drive a car that makes you say rhombus? Nobody. They're gay vans. They're not vans, okay? They have a lot of cargo. So does my Mini Cooper. It's a four-door, but you can put a lot of stuff in there. If you wanted to have a lot of cargo, get a regular truck. Then it can go tall, you know? You can go taller than the top of the truck. A rum bus. That's what they should have called it. The Tesla rum bus. It's retro-futuristic, huh? Looks like a vehicle from a PS1 game. Yeah, kind of. Like, they can't really do curves yet in the graphics. 13.5 is my bet. Half the pot. I got top pair. I think he's on some kind of a draw, but I could be wrong. I'm gonna call. I'm gonna call. Wow, fuck, he had pocket queens. God damn it. I thought he was semi-bluffing on that flush draw, but I was wrong. Shame on me for my wrongness. Let's see what's going on here in the chatteroo. Imagine unlocking that thing in the Mario Kart game. Just good imagining. Hi, Cam. Thanks for your comment about my recent video. I appreciated it. La Volpe, I doubt that it would. Someone angry enough to buy eggs as projectiles at the current prices would throw it right through the windshield. I guess eggs are expensive. I hear a lot of people talking about that. Um, we never buy eggs, so no. No, I'm just playing poker for money. No clothes removal required. I'm playing in an $11 tournament. People are always looking for reasons to be outraged. Really? Is that what you think? RP McMurphy 47? Frankly, I find that outrageous. It's unlikely, even if you try very hard. What's unlikely? Becoming a cult leader? You shouldn't try so hard to become a cult leader, I don't think. You should be satisfied with your current state of being. More FI. FI is not just outrage. It's knowing what's important to you, caring about it, preventing harm, shit like that. Um, well, that's the thing is I would like to I'd like to fulfill the role of statesman that the country needs in, in the aftermath of Trump. Because we haven't had a good president since, like, I don't know, Bush #1 or Clinton. So, of course, a good candidate, a good statesman is not going to be divisive and is not going to be a moderate either. Is Elon a freedom provider or a fascist and Nazi supporter? I mean, I think he's just a guy doing a job that Trump has gave him to do. I don't think he's any of those things. I think he's the same successful dummy he's always been. Well, it's not a matter of Republicans or Democrats. RP McMurphy 47. I don't know what I would run as, but the point is, I am fundamentally a correctist. I have the correct position on each specific um, policy question, and it doesn't matter whether it's on meow side or meow side. Sometimes I make meow happy, sometimes I make meow happy. But in every instance, I'm doing the correct thing, and the people who are unhappy are wrong. So that's how it would be of me if I were president. I don't think there's two wings to the same bird. I don't think that at all. I think they're both very wrong in certain specific ways and not so wrong in other ways. But it's hard to generalize about either party because there's a couple of different aspects to it, right? There's this whole culture war shit, which comprises the vast majority of what passes for political discourse in this country, which is absolutely meaningless garbage, just designed to generate, foster, encourage, and otherwise miggity meow the politics of outrage thing. Well, I got pocket aces, and I just go all in. Okay, got ace nine, no diamond, no diamond. Waste 2, 3, 4, 5. We split it. Oh, we split the pot. Oh well. I think there are plenty of actual ideologues which are even worse than phonies, right? People who genuinely believe that their ideology is critically important to the particularly if they're of the utilitarian variety and they think that the ends justify the means and they believe that they're so right about what the best outcomes could be. um, then then that's going to be a big problem because utilitarianism is the same thing as just being completely arbitrary. What Trump policy do you most oppose? Me? Well, I don't think the deportations are a good thing. What's your opinion on the whole masculine and feminine functions of OPS? Oh, that's complete bullshit. Yeah. Um, and the thing is, you will find spectacularly bad ideas all across this political spectrum in every corner and nook and cranny. But the thing is, we're fine. We have good inoculation against bad ideas, provided we have good discursive habits. The problem is we have bad discursive habits. So we're not actually discussing public policy at all. When Kamala Harris made an ad for California stating that she believes the Constitution guarantees the right to an abortion for every woman, well, she was lying, wrong, and a bunch of other things, right? Most importantly, even if she had been elected president, she would have no say over that matter. The Supreme Court rules over that. It's not something that the president can do anything about. So, it's like that kind of garbage. It's like the dog catcher chiming in and saying, and I believe that we should keep plastics out of the oceans. Okay, well, great, but what does that have to do with catching dogs? And I'm opposed to nuclear war. Well, great, but what does that have to do with catching dogs? Same thing um, with Kamala Harris's garbage, because she knows better than to actually state that the Constitution, presumably knows better, the Constitution guarantees it, because it clearly doesn't, because there's no mention of it anywhere in the Constitution. Nor is there any reason to believe that a right to privacy exists. That doesn't mean that there might not be some other reason why women ought to be afforded that right, but regardless, it's not up to the president to decide that. So it's like, and take Trump for example. What's the worst thing about Trump? The worst thing about Trump is that he's not representing the American people. He's representing his base and shitting on everybody else's perspectives carte blanche. Yeah, it is a general problem not discussing policies, but instead discussing people. Did you think she was FE blind? Who's she? Oh, Kamala? No, I think she's FE eighth. The Democrats did the same thing? As what? Oh, you mean like not representing, only representing their half of the population? Well, I mean, I agree with you, and I think the Democrats, they try to position the Republicans as a smallish group of hardcore reactionaries, and the Republicans position the left as a bunch of woke postmodernists determined to destroy all that is good about America, you know? So there are, I guess, examples of people who are that terrible. They seem to be, they seem to run for president with a remarkable amount of frequency. I don't know. It's like, get out of here, you idiots. We don't want you to be president. Neither of you nor that dementia guy, none of you fucking tards. It's just tards all the way down. That's what that's what that lady told Bertrand Russell when he asked. Okay, well, if the Earth really sits on a turtle, what does the turtle sit on? And the lady said, it's just tards all the way down. All right, well, look, dude, I'm going all in, so suck it, because I got 3 jacks, and that has you beat. So, bam! Well, I agree in general, RP McMurphy 47. In theory, I'm going to be making that attempt, but, you know, my number one task in beginning that process is getting my teeth fixed, which I have a plan in the works here. I called Delilah, talked to her, and finalize some details and stuff, but I should be getting that done within the next year. And then we'll see, you know, if I can generate sufficient visibility via YouTube, which so far I have not been able to. I figured it would require me to have about 100,000 subs, but if I were to, well, the thing is, RP McMurphy 47, I'm not worried so much about the odds of me becoming president, being elected president. What I'm suggesting is that if I take a kind of old school approach to campaigning, devote enough time and energy towards the matter, and go and speak anywhere that anyone will have me speak across country, if I could even potentially get some mention in some media, no, RP McMurphy 47, absolutely not. I hate that when people make that comparison. I am nothing like that fucking idiot at all. I take the matter very seriously. I understand public policy very well, and I still have faith in the American citizen democracy. It's not beyond salvaging. Promising people a pony and making a mockery of it is something only a fucking retard would do. He's not a satirist at all. I mean, how is that satire? It's not interesting, right? He's just a buffoon. He's just a complete buffoon. That's all he is. He smells of ENFP, and I just cannot tolerate his disregard for things that matter, you know? It's not a joke. That's the problem, RP McMurphy 47. Understood properly, treated properly, discussed properly, it's not a joke. The fact that he's too stupid to do that discussion is not a good reason for him to pretend it is a joke. It's the it's the difference between a free and civil society like we currently live in still versus some sort of autocratic hell like North Korea. There are real dramatic differences between quality of life in different kinds of places under different kinds of governance. There nothing could be more important, frankly. So yeah, I think he's an ass for quote unquote satirizing um, what's critically important to all of our well being. Yeah, I think he's an ass and irresponsible and dumb. And that's what I think about that. There's nothing fun loving about not respecting American democracy. My father raised me to be a patriot, not to clown around with something as important as self-governance. I have actually good policy prescriptions for things. To the extent that we need solutions also. It's like I wouldn't go into the job looking to do stuff for the sake of doing it, right? And I understand that a primary strategy of mine, if I were president, would be to use the Justice Department to curtail, constrain the power of the presidency because it's gotten increasingly out of control, and Trump seems to be determined to double down on that. Did I see that Sam Cedar thing? I don't know what that means. Well, I'm not rooting against my own country. Um, I'm also, what I offer as a political voice is not bridge building, is not being a moderate center, is not compromise. What I offer is correctness about every specific matter. And that's going to piss off some people some of the time, and it's going to make them happy some of the time, depending on what they are attached to. But what everybody will get to know for sure is that I'm not on either of your fucking sides. I'm on the side of America. The side that any presidential candidate should be on, right? That's the job he's applying for, is representing the entirety of America. Eric, shouldn't we have more immigrants? Don't they make America great? I mean, I've answered the immigration question plenty. First of all, do I think that the country should successfully control the borders so that we can actually implement whatever immigration policy the legislature chooses to make and the president to sign? Yes, I think we should have control over the border. Do I have any particular position on the amount of legal immigration we should allow? Um, it I don't have a strong feelings about it in any particular way. Less than a shit ton, more than a trickle. You know. Do I think we should have illegal immigration? No. Do I think we should deport people who are currently here illegally? No. Why? Because all of those are the correct positions to have. I mean, I don't understand why the country has it in the country's interest for immigrants to become citizens, because then they're eligible for benefits and services and stuff. I mean, the thing is, it's legitimate, EZBCLS. Nobody can say it's not within the federal government's purview to do that. Nobody can say it's not the executive branch's purview to do that. So it's as legitimate as that Trump does could possibly be. That doesn't make it good. The problem I have is that you've got plenty of instances where you have children who are born in America and their parents are here illegally. So what are you going? Are you caring at all about the American citizens who are the kids and their well-being? I don't know. It seems like a pointless thing because illegal immigrants add to the economy, generate new wealth in the economy, but don't take services and shit, right? They still pay some taxes, but they don't receive any services. Hi, Matarazzi Sound. What's going on? How about we keep families and deport everybody else? How about we just deport all the American citizens and keep the Mexicans? No, not the case that if both parents are illegal, then they are all illegal. Because if you're born here, you're an American citizen. Oh, that's garbage. It's complete garbage. It took our jibs. I mean, okay, I'll bet. Normally, nobody is saying that hero except idiots. Yeah, I don't really think many people are saying that. Boo. Yeah, like, no, I want that job cleaning toilets. Forget that outdated rule, born here, you're legal. It's dumb. Why? Why is it dumb? I mean, my daughter was born here. She's a citizen. Why should she not get to be a citizen? What rule are you gonna have? Like only white people can have naturalized citizenship? It's just insane, like hater shit. Nobody's no smart person is disputing that the United States needs to secure the borders so that only people who are legal immigrants make it into the country. No, I was born here too. And my first wife, my baby mama, I guess you could call her, she was born here too. She's also American citizen. But the thing is, you'll note that the reason she and I were American citizens is because we were born here too. Same reason my daughter's an American citizen. You're trying to come up with some kind of Jim Crow grandfathering laws. It's insane, dumb, discriminatory, not not constitutional at all, and ridiculous. I agree with you, Easy BCLS. I think that being born here gives you the constitutional right to citizenship. And if they do want to change that, they need to amend the Constitution. It's not enough to just pass some law, and it's not easy to amend the Constitution. It takes you gotta get like three ducks and a goose all to cooperate with an alligator. Or have a shit ton of governors sign it. Everybody folds every time I have a hand. Yeah, easy squeezy. They never criticize the cheap employers that want to not pay a decent amount. Well, I mean, the thing is, forget about cheap employers, quote unquote, who want to not pay a decent amount. When I would go to Home Depot to hire Mexicans to help clean like my garage out or whatever, well, what do you think happened? I paid them, I think, $15 or $20 an hour. I don't remember. I think I probably paid them $20 an hour. And I got them lunch. And I drove them to my house and then back to Home Depot. The thing that makes them advantageous is not necessarily that they're cheaper than Americans. It's that they're they're laborers where you know where they are and you know what you're going to get and what you need to provide. And there's no paperwork or, it's all under the table. Well, it looks like me and Mia are going to split this pot. The point is, there's still racists in the country who focus on race and they'll find an excuse to remain that way. Yeah, well, I mean, it's pretty obvious that Trump just hates Mexicans so much for no particular reason. I don't know why. He sees them as, changing his America into something he doesn't recognize anymore. He's old. He's an ESFP. No offense to SFPs out there, Caroline. You're an ISFP, but he's a dumbass. He's dumb as dumb can be, that man. He thinks he's a very stable genius. He's actually a very stable dumbass. It doesn't mean all of the things he's doing are bad. I think he probably will end up doing a fair amount of good along with a fair amount of harm to kind of the habits and institutions of democracy. Harms to checks and balances, expanding the scope of the executive branch, all that kind of shit, That's not good. That's definitely not good. But it's also the case that trying to reduce the size, scope, and jurisdictional overreach of the federal government is a worthwhile endeavor in general. I don't think it should be done like with a hacksaw, like with a chainsaw. Just go, we can just cut here, and he's got kind of this chainsaw. Well, just chainsaw it all and let God sort it out. He's got kind of that vibe going on. But we'll see how it all turns out. I don't know. I will give Trump the following credit. He surprises me a lot. Like, I thought his trade war with China in his first term was a disastrously bad idea, and it worked out just fine. I thought him saber rattling with Rocket Man was a spectacularly bad idea. Worked as it happened, On the other hand, his dumbness really hurt us when it came to COVID. He didn't convey the right justifications for the right policies. And that was very unfortunate. And he had the opportunity. It's on break right now. I need to get back in there in a sec, though. So, like, I don't like them making cuts at national forests and stuff like that. I think that's bad, but, everybody's got their pet little federal program. So, I kind of get trying to have a kind of a non-discriminating eye. It can be good or bad, But ideally, you'd have more discrimination in terms of like distinguishing between things you need and things you don't need, right? I don't get the sense that he's really doing that. You don't need the Department of Education, that's for sure. That shit should be just completely demolished. The federal government has absolutely no business absolutely no business being involved in education, which is funded almost exclusively by local property taxes. It's insane. Like centralizing education decisions further away from classrooms is a good idea. No, it's a terrible idea. Vlovids? Who are Vlovids? RP McMurphy 47, I tend to agree with that sentiment. It'll turn out fine like usual. People are stuck in the moment with Chicken Little hysteria. Oh. Oh, no. I mean, Carlos Paiva, he wasn't wrong about COVID, okay? He wasn't advocating the wrong position. But it's also the case that he wasn't giving any good reasons for his position, which was we shouldn't be freaking out so much about this. And his reason was he had a hunch, you know. The proper leader would have said things like, regardless of what kind of cold is going around, this nation respects and protects your freedom of assembly. You know, etc., right? A million of other things. But I agree with you that he could have done worse. El Salvador was able to destroy their cartel. Why can't Mexico? Because it's built out of adobe with Mexican know-how. You can't just break that. It's built strong. Cured in the sun. And shaped into the form of a piñata. They prefer to be called pharmaceutical independent contractors rather than cartels. Okay? Independent pharmaceutical contractors, or IPCs. What are they selling anyway? If the cartels are doing such a good job of selling drugs, why am I not buying any of them? I would like to. If the cartels were good at selling drugs, they would approach me in the street and say, that guy looks like he wants drugs. Hey, you want to get some Mexican drugs from the cartel? Say, what kind of Mexican drugs do you have? I'm very interested in hearing your menu. But listen, cartel person, I want you to assure me you haven't put fentanyl in all this shit. Okay, because I don't want to take no fentanyl. Do you know what I say about fentanyl, cartel guy? Fentanyl, schmentanyl. I'm wise to say that. Yeah. So don't do fentanyl, everybody. I don't normally tell people what drugs to do or not to do. I'm going to go ahead and issue Eric's public service announcement. Try not to do so much fentanyl. Try to do less fentanyl than you're currently doing. Mexico needs better leadership. I can go down to Mexico and lead their country to victory using the power of piñatas. You're high on fentanyl right now. Okay, well, I'm not trying to harsh your buzz. Okay, I'm saying, once the fentanyl wears off, maybe consider not taking fentanyl so much again in the future. Maybe take it less than 3 times a day. Fewer than 3 times a day. Sorry. My grammar was atrocious, and obviously that's not okay. All right, well, I took down that pot. I'm hanging on here. Number 49 of 156, it looks like. Not too bad. Well, what's about morals or shoulds? What system? Yeah. Don't do that fentanyl. Anthony Chang, good afternoon to you. How are you? Welcome and good day. Easy BCLS correctly points out that the war on drugs has killed more people than it has saved. It's questionable whether it saved anybody, frankly. But, yeah. It's like, hey, here's an idea. How about you just not make it hard for me to get drugs? There's a novel idea. How about we just go, Eric knows what he's doing. He knows what drugs he wants to do. He should be able to get them, obviously. Like, seriously, who's gonna better know what drugs I should do than me? I'm not some spring chicken. I'm not some 12-year-old playing around with things he doesn't understand. I've been doing drugs since I was a 12-year-old playing around with things he didn't understand. 14, actually, but I was, doing the funny joke thing. Black markets, Anthony Chang, that is racist. Okay, they're called Negro markets. I've never seen you not look high. Do I look high right now? Oh, okay, well, stop Asian hate, Anthony. Stop Asian hate. I am sick of being hated on for my Asianness. And you know who was one of the worst offenders? Anthony Chang. He's always coming up to me and going, like, Ching Chong Chang, go back to China, Eric. He's always doing that to me. I'm like, hey, that's not nice, Anthony. Stop Asian hate. That's what I have to say. Here we go. This is called 60s pop. That's the beat. What age do you think you will die at? I'm gonna die at 145 is when I'll die, I suspect. Which means I got a lot of life left to go. Oh yeah. If I could do math real good, I would tell you how much life I have to go. Let's see. What sound do we want here? Let's go with saxophone. Just because I hate saxophone. So I'll go with saxophone. Okay, alright, I'm gonna go that. Okay, alright, I'm gonna go that. Kenny G in the house. Saxophone, saxophone, saxophone. It's a fact you know. How I knew my English professor. He wasn't a professor, he was my mentor teacher. I just figured it out kind of after the fact. It's pretty obvious. He had really good extroverted intuition, but he was also really clear on his boundaries and what was important to him and stuff like that. He just seemed like an INFP. His TI was too good for TI polar, you see. So ENFP's out the question, and his NE's quite good. So I would say it's 1 or 2, and therefore, you should be resolving now to see that he's an INFP, since I've eliminated all the other 3 NE 1-2 types. Okay, there. Now do you get it, Anthony? Now do you get it, finally? At long last? I hope so. I'm so tired of explaining things to you. I'm just kidding, Anthony. I love explaining things to you. Uh-huh. All right. Uh-huh. All right. Uh-huh. All right. Uh-huh. And all right. All right. And uh-huh. And all right. What's your best question you would ask to find out if a person is a merry type or serious type? Alpha, beta versus gamma, delta. I don't try to draw that distinction. I don't do quadras like that. I just do process of elimination, you know? I agree with you, Anthony Chang. I feel like any users should have people who just follow us around, record what we say, archive it for other people to consume someday. I agree with you. I've often wondered why people don't follow me around. I've often thought they should be following me around. Listen to all these interesting things I'm saying. Ooh, jacks. Okay. I'll just go all in again, I guess. Here we go. Aw, I failed. I failed, yes I did. 'Cause I'm a failure. I failed, yes I did. I failed once again. And when I was done failing then, I failed some more. Well, Mr. Sanderson, he had his own small business. He wasn't that profit motivated maybe, but it was a pretty successful small business. Because he offered a product that was very high quality, I am playing a poker tournament. Now I'm not playing, I busted out of the tournament. So I'd just be... I fucked it up. I got to remember how to play it. It's too hard to know how to play, is the problem. Here we go. Everybody come, join us on the dance floor. To an ethnic dance. How would INFJ ever be intimidating? Well, sometimes they'll scare you. They'll look you in the eye. They'll say, how dare you, without even saying why. Indeed, you'll never know that they're actually mad. Instead, you'll just find out later that you've been terribly bad. Oh yeah, bad. And that's how you get intimidated by an INFJ. That's how you get intimidated by an INFJ. That's how you get intimidated by an INFJ. An INFJ. J, J, J. J, J. J, 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 J. Ta-da! Wonderful. Wonderful times. Let's go a little slower this time. This one. The king, the king, the king has arrived. Hi everybody, thank you for that. I'm the king. I have arrived, as you can tell by my trumpets. Yep, those trumpets right there, that's right. I got a lot of trumpets, because I'm the king. So, I can afford a lot of trumpeters. cheap, maybe. Trumpeters are expensive as babies, but you can hear them trumpet away. Wow, that's a wonderful trumpet playing. Now what? This is trombone. Wow, that's a wonderful song. Let's change the beat to this one. Okay. Now, let's stop it. Intro. Go. I don't want that on there. I learned how to play the tuba 7 hours ago. I never knew I played the tuba till 7 hours ago. I learned from my grandpa, whose name was Tuba Bob. He showed me how to play the tuba all day. Now I play the tuba when I want to play a thing on this thing. Then I play the tuba, I play the fucking tuba. Look at me play the tuba today. Yeah, I took lessons for a year and a half to play the tuba this big. You aren't just born with these kind of skills on the tuba. You got to practice the tuba, otherwise you won't play the tuba very well. Unlike me, they call me Tuba King, King of the tuba, King of tuba sing. 'Cause I sing with my tuba playing oh so well, which is pretty difficult if you know how a tuba is played. Normally you got to breathe out air while you play the tuba all of the day. The tuba will take all your air, and then you want to know what. You'll want to play the tuba for the rest of your life. You'll think that the tuba's super. You'll make it just like a wife. Yes, you will love the tuba. Who doesn't love the tuba? You love the tuba so much. The tuba. This is funny. I like this instrument. This is fun to play. It's like, I haven't had anything but a guitar really for such a long time. I have a bass too, but you know. it's both fun and exciting and interesting, and also frustrating because you know I can I I can't really do the things I'm trying to do very well necessarily. In other words, I don't play the instrument well. That's a bit of a problem, but it's also kind of fun because I feel like I'm learning things. I have it open actually in another tab, I think, somewhere here. Yeah, it's I'm alright, I'll tell you what, I'll fast forward to here. It's like halftime. Okay, so I'm gonna start the beginning of the second half. Here we go. And I will pull out the chat. Could have sworn I saw a jerboa, but to my knowledge, they don't live in California. But I know what I saw. A jerboa? What's a jerboa? Who is this so-called Eric anyway? I don't know. I'm trying to figure out myself. Can Sasquatch survive in the snow? Yeah, I think they like snow a lot. I saw a California king snake. Oh. Oh, you probably just saw a jackalope. But yeah, I saw a real California king snake here in the backyard, not far from where we're currently sitting, in fact. A Sasquatch build a bar? My eyes are shut. Looked like a rat with chicken legs. Well, Rachel and I one time saw something really strange. We saw a cryptid that I've never heard anybody ever mention before or anything. It was like a giant caterpillar, like size of a loaf of bread. I don't know if there's a queen snake. I don't think so. I think California mountain king is a specific kind of king snake. They're really beautiful snakes. Obviously, I didn't bother it. I looked at it and I wanted to take a picture of it or whatever, but king snake is in Eric's pants. Queen snake is in, I think just basically in Freddie Mercury's pants. Okay. I am tired and shagged out following and staying up all night. So let's go outside and let's do a little bit of meowing. First, let's go to the garage and get a couple of things. I keep the venomous snakes out of my underwear. I say, listen, venomous snakes, you're going to bite me somewhere, not on the dick, somewhere else. Okay, the game's on, dude. I'm not really in a super game mood right now, You gotta be in the right mood for a game. I can watch it later. Don't tell me what happens, It's recording, so. What I would like to do here is take this shovel and see around the back a bit. I'll bring this machete too. And then let's just go out this way. Stop dripping all over me. Okay. All right. Okay, here we go. Now, there's not a plug here. Or is there? Is this a plug? No. Maybe it could be converted into one, but it's not currently a plug. I could put this over there, where there is a plug. But, you know, I could have told your mom no, and that didn't happen, so. All right. Eric, I suggest you turn on the game. Okay, well, I will in a little while. Just chill out. So what you see here is snow. But what I see here is an opportunity. Namely, I see a place where I would dig a hole and we're not going to be able to get everything done by any stretch of the imagination today. First of all, we need to get steer manure from the hardware store. But maybe get, just one whole jug place right now. And then maybe go into town and get steer manure tomorrow. But, it's not really quite ready to go into the ground until all this snow melts and everything anyway. It is the middle of March, so this should be the last frost. Okay. These boxes, you can stop falling out. Woo-hoo! Well, that's good enough for now. We got one hole mostly dug. Only like 10 more to go. Maybe I should just dig a trough rather than a bunch of individual holes straight across. I could maybe plant them fairly close together even if I did that. I guess I don't really have any better way to dig than just a shovel. That's not that much digging. I just need to wait till the snow melts. And it's melting pretty quick. I'm not too worried about it sticking around for a long time. I kind of want to get some fish emulsion. The kind of fertilizer. If I did the trough, I could, at the bottom of the trough, pour a 50-50 solution of emulsified fish. And then I could put a little bit of, and I could put steer manure on top of that, and then plant the plant near the top, and then it would take a while to work its way down to the fish emulsion. Alright, we're going to go back inside as soon as I smoke a cigarette. But I'm glad we got something done. I think we should be proud of ourselves. We got one little thing done. Another thing I need to do is I need to get into this. This light bulb in this thing is not working properly anymore, so I need to see what kind of light bulb it has. Maybe order it online. Or we can do that in a second. We'll go do that in a second. Let's go inside. Let's have some beverage. I guess I should close the garage door. Not that I've ever had even the slightest occasion to think that there's any crime risk at all around here, but Rachel's a big believer in better safe than sorry, and I'm a big believer in Rachel. Okay, here we are. Yeah, out there flip-flops. Thanks, Rachel, darling. I didn't know you were listening in. Ah. Well. Wings are here. Let's fucking go. All right. Let's. Okay, I'm going to watch this game, I guess. I said play. Let's see what the score is here. Oh, I got a plant. I got a lot of holes to dig, so I decided I'd, get a hole dug. We're gonna have to go all along the top edge of that. I was just saying I might even dig it as a trough instead of individual holes. So I'm gonna have a lot of seedlings to plant pretty soon. And in fact, I ordered some other seeds yesterday or the day before. So we're gonna have different strains than we had this year, in addition to the strains we had this year. So that'll be nice. Oh, I am feeling tore up from the floor up. I think I'm about ready to. Well, you know what I'm about ready to do? I think I'm about ready to take. No poppy seeds, no. But we'll have like 10 different strains. I'm just gonna have to like because I started the first batch of seedlings before I determined that I was gonna get some other seeds. So I'm not gonna be able to use all that first batch of seedlings. I could maybe put some in pots and leave them in pots, but I don't want to have. There's you're a limited number of plants you're allowed to have, and I want to make sure I don't exceed that at least outside. I think might be 5 per person, might be 10 per person. I'm not sure. Per adult. We have 2 adults, but I think our cats should count as adults too. I think that's fair. Okay, so second half, 11:32 left is where I am in the game. Michigan's up by 11 over the 2 seed Maryland. Michigan is looked apart. Okay, so I'm gonna go get some pills. Well, I take a gabapentin, which I have here. Then I'm gonna go in there, take some Benadryls. I think I'll take a Lanzi, half a Lanzi. Maybe a Zach as well. And did I say Benadryls already? Like a grip of Benadryls. And some vitamins. Me? I got drugs yesterday. That's why I stayed up all night. But now I'm feeling tore up, so I want to go get some rest. But I'm probably not going to get that much rest unless I fill it up. Okay, well, don't tell me, Putty Cat, because right now Michigan's got an 11-point lead where I am in the game, okay? But olanzapine, yeah. Or as I like to call it, Angela Lansbury. Oh, nice. Nice job, Maryland guy. So, sometimes guilt, I just think, you know, maybe I'm not feeling psychotic, but I could be less psychotic, maybe. Ergo, take an antipsychotic. Hi, beautiful. Do you mind if I get half a Lansy? I'll get some of these Benadryls. I get myself a colorful assortment of Mama's Little Helpers. I'll take 3 Benadryls. And I'll take half a Lansy. Well, there's a couple chlorotrimetons in here. Can I have one of these chlorotrimetons?
Yeah.
This is half a Lansy right here. I'm going to take these 3 Benadryls, one of these chlorotrimetons, this half a Lansy, and then I have gabapentin in there. I'll take my gabapentin. Oh, Prozac. AKA fluoxetine. And then I'm going to take vitamins. Take one of these vitamins. Okay. Put this back. Put this back. Put these vitamins back. Close this. Get this down. This is another kind of vitamin that supposedly makes your B vitamins work better. Alright. Let's relocate now to the pill taking room. And then when they start to kick in, I'll end the stream and I'll join you in here, Rachel, for a much needed and well deserved nap. Did I close this? Yes, I did. Close this. Oh, you think Clonnies work better for you? Well, my experience is olanzapine puts me to sleep better than Klonopin does. Uh-oh, Maryland's got cut it to a 1-point game here. I need to eat something. I need to eat something before I take all these pills are going to be all pukey. Okay. Let me just take these pills. No, I guess I need. Don't take these other ones. Olanzapine helped a bit, but it gave me swallowing issues, strange anxiety, intense brain fog. Huh. Well, doesn't do that to me. It just makes me sleepy. Listen, Hershey's commercial, you're gonna get me copyrighted with your song. Oh, clozapine, not clonopin. Oh, I don't know what clozapine is. Is it a benzo? Oh, clozapine is an antipsychotic. I see. Yeah, well, the thing is, I don't actually need the antipsychotic part of it. I don't need it at all. I just like popping pills, you know. What are we popping today? What do you got? I'm going to toss a couple of gabapentins in the mix. Seems appropriate. Those aren't gabapentins. Those are Adderalls. Those won't help me sleep. I do, says Shauna Grove. You do what? You do the robot? You do the sprinkler? Do you do the do? Oh, you need depression medication. Oh, well, you know, you're not the only person. Most people do. I needed depression medication not very long ago. I feel like I kind of don't need it anymore, but I started taking Rachel's Prozac. Those helped a little bit, but then the doctor prescribed me Wellbutrin that helped more, worked better. I don't plan on having any access to any clozapine, so it won't be an issue. I just take half of one. I took a full one at first, and it was just like I could barely stagger off to bed. I had a pretty crappy life, I think, at this point in time. I should have been dead over 200 times. It gets hard. Well, yeah. Look, you know, when you're not in a good place ontologically, which is, say, mentally, emotionally, your self-concept, etc., life's very, very different than when you're in a good place, you know? It's when you're in the shit, everything stinks. When you're out of the shit, then you can get the actual smells of things. I had a very blessed, privileged life, but I have had plenty of self-induced wounds. I said hi. Hi there, the deal for real, the deal for real. Hello. At 14, I had a heart transplant. I'm definitely blessed. You just got sick of your old one or what? It's hard. It kind of beats with kind of like a ba-bum ba-bum kind of. I want something more pop to it. Oh, that's good. That's good lean back. I'm getting some high quality lean back right now. If you're a fan of lean back like I am, you can see the comfort, can't you? Especially, I'm not just a fan of lean back. I'm a fan of lean back feet up. Michigan now down by 3, but Golden gets fouled. 7:25 left in the half on my clock. Maybe not in real time, but don't update me, please. Um, well, Shauna, at 14, I had a head transplant. Apparently, my previous head was retarded. And they put this head on. I said, well, it's not much of an improvement, but this one seems to be a little bit less retarded. And that's how I came to be the man I am today. Top or bottom? Oh, my, which head? I did have to get a penis transplant at one point too because, it was giving me back troubles. I'd trip over it all the time. It sounds romantic, like, oh, I want a 4 foot long dick, but it's nothing but trouble. So I had to get it transplanted with a regular sized one. Well, you know, like I said, I don't have that anymore. Okay. I felt size shamed when I was 4 feet long. Sometimes they would just, fall out the bottom of the hem of my pants, and the dog would come up and bite it. Sup, Newman? Sup? Sup, sup, hey girl, you know you my world. Sup, sup, hey girl, you know you my world. I've taken a lot of different pills. Took 2 gabapentin, 3 Benadryl, 1 chlortrimeton, a half an olanzapine, a vitamin, another vitamin. How was my day? My day was fine. Um, I played poker. I played around with the keyboard quite a bit. Recorded a little bit of it. A little bit of keyboard stuff, little drums, and drum and bass kind of keyboard stuff. Have a nice day. It was nice talking to you. Well, it was nice talking to you too. And do you know why? Because you're a nice talker. That's why. Now I'm going to pause this. What is my religion? I am a CHRISTIAN, a Christian. That's how you spell it. It's a sin to not be a Christian. Gee, then you'll have to go to hell. All of the Hindus, the Muslims, and the Buddhists are all gonna burn in hell. All of the pagans and the witches and the nudists all gonna burn in hell, 'cause I'm a Christian. Hooray for Christ. Let's fellowship and worship. God gave his only son to the world, but the world just killed him by nailing him to some wood. Oh no, he killed the son of God. Oh no. Don't worry, 'cause I'm just gonna get up from this cave. I'm gonna float into the sky like I'm raising today. I'm gonna Easter up my Easter bunny bag with some eggs that are colored like a bunch of. Well, you know what I was gonna say, but that's not okay these days because homophobia is considered an outrageous thing, and I don't wanna be accused of that, so don't you dare call me fat. That's fat shaming. Please don't fat shame me. What's the difference between a baby and a bag of cocaine? Eric Clapton would never let a bag of cocaine fall out of a window. I guess that's what happens when your baby falls out of a window. People say things like that. Good reason to prevent your baby from falling out of a window, I guess. There's actually another part to this too. Anyway, I need some adjusting, but I enjoyed fucking around with the keyboard just because it's so great to have different instrument sounds besides just guitar. Said hi. Cool. Glad you said hi. I said hi back. Whenever a job interviewer asks what my strongest trait is, I tell them I'm responsible because at my old job, whenever something bad happened, my coworkers would always say, Eric is responsible. um, they asked me, what's your strongest trait? Oh, I think it's the interview. I think you're going to be really impressed with this answer and every answer following this one. Could be wrong. I'm just hazarding a guess. I'm saying it's the interview. And what do you think your biggest weakness is? The doing the actual work. Yeah. I'm great at the interview. You can put me out front to meet people and explain things to them. But when it comes to doing, like the boring kinds of work that you probably want me to do, yeah, that's what I'm going to be my biggest weakness probably. Is I don't like to do that. Is that a deal killer? How set are you on having somebody hired that does the job you want them to do? Because I can do all kinds of other things. And I think you'll find me an entertaining person to have around. I might not come in every day. I might not adhere strictly to your schedule. No, I'm not watching golf. I'm watching Maryland with a 2-point lead over Michigan. Don't tell me I know the game's over now, but it's not over for me. So just leave it be. Just leave that patty in your pudding, okay? And and don't try to put it on anybody's bun. Okay. Michigan. You know, the thing about Michigan, though, is they got that coach from FAU, Dusty May, I think his name is. And they got Golden, who was with him last year. One of the teams did win. Oh, okay. There's so many ties in basketball. That's surprising to me. It's like you look at the basketball standings in any basketball league. It's all like um, 0, 0, and 10, or it ties in the middle. 0, 10, and 0. Yeah, Dusty May, Wolf, Golden came with him from Florida Atlantic. That's definitely a step up in terms of name schools, right? Michigan is a big name school that used to have a good basketball program that kind of just faded in recent years. But they've lost 9 games. Nevertheless, I think Dusty will have them ready for the tournament. I do. I think that because I think he's a good coach. My biggest weakness, I guess I'm prone to fits of extreme violence, just like on a dime. Um, Maybe that's not my biggest weakness. I mean, let's see. I have a tendency to sexually harass everybody I come into contact with. I don't like to use the bathroom, so I'll just go to the bathroom in the office area. USC was a pretty good team this year, just not good enough. I mean, we should have beat Purdue. That was bullshit. We got robbed in that Purdue game. Oh, Golden! Bam! You deserve to pat yourself on the back for being such a tall fellow and yet, nevertheless, having such a silky smooth 3-point shot. I commend you, sir. I commend you for your shooting prowess. Also, you cook halibut in the lunchroom microwave. Yes, I do that. That's another one of my weaknesses. Some people call it a strength, though. One of my strengths is I will bring in balloons and flowers and confetti and shit for absolutely everybody's birthday, anniversary, any holiday, everything. I will be here to make sure that everything is celebrated. I'll have cake. It'll be brand cake because I don't believe in feeding people sugar. And we'll have water to drink with it because I don't believe in sugary drinks or drinks with flavors. And then the balloons will be paper balloons so that they're biodegradable, and they'll be filled up with, instead of helium, they'll be filled up with natural methane. I'll bring clowns in. I'll bring a mariachi band sometimes. Sometimes I'll get a DJ. Sometimes I'll just dose the water cooler. What's your opinion on ISFJs? I think they're great. My oldest friend in the world is an ISFJ. I've known him for 50 years. Yeah, if we're going to fill the balloons with pseudoscience, don't worry, I can make these balloons float with pseudoscience. We will have pride parades for every kind of pride. Do you guys know this? I didn't know this until recently. But happy Women's History Month. This is Women's History Month. And you know what? I am so proud of those little gals because they've now gotten to the point where they've done enough stuff to fill up a whole month of history. You know? Of course, black women, they only get half of February and half of March. But let's just celebrate those gutsy little gals with their history. Like, how that one lady, Betsy Ross, she sewed a flag. That's June, Putty Cat. That's Pride Month. It includes not just lesbians, but all of your L's, your B's, your G's, your Q's, your T's, your pluses, your A's, your whatevers. It even includes me. I think even hetero pride is acceptable in Pride Month. I'm so proud of fucking my wife. She's a lady and I'm a man. I'm so proud of my heterosexual lifestyle. Oh, yeah. And I also wanted to ask you, did I make a good decision breaking up with ESFP girl? I and TP. She forced me into a relationship and I gave it a try and we didn't understand each other on anything. Oh, yo, you made the right decision to break up. If if you're like thinking maybe I should break up, it's the right decision because unless it's unless it's right at the very beginning of a relationship, maybe there's some uncertainty that you get past. But you love me, huh? Well, look at you, full of emotions. Cocox. Well, Putty Cat, I mean, there are limits to executive power, right? If the legislature signed, passed a bill and the former president signed it into law and it pays for and, you know, and provides the legal language just to explain the nature of some federal thing, then does the president really have the unilateral authority to end those, to just end those laws? Basically, just refuse to execute those laws? I don't really think so. I love you more than that girl. Well, I'm glad that you love me more than you love that girl because it doesn't sound to me like you love that girl at all. Sounds to me like she was a pain in the ass and you got out as best thing you could do is get out as quickly as possible. Don't go dating a pain in the ass. When you're with the right person, it's not bad. Instead, you get along just fine. You see things on the same page all the time. You don't have to compromise because your value was equivalent. Yeah, you want to be in a relationship like me and Rachel. We are very much on the same page like all the time. And we get along really well. We have the same kinds of expectations for each other, which is to say, we expect each other not to expect much of each other. Like, we're not big doers, we're not censors. Rachel is not really down to, like, have me impose expectations upon her. Hemorrhoids are a pain in the ass, but, oh, missed. But they're not the only pain in the ass, Pretty Cat. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's what I want. Someone who doesn't take everything fast and serious. Well, Rachel and I got serious fast, but what we have in common is we're both intuition dominant, which means we have a very iffy relationship with our sensing functions, which is to say that, like, Rachel would like to delegate the SE stuff if possible. She doesn't feel insecure about her lack of SE, just kind of like annoyed that she has to SE or satisfied with it sometimes, you know? It's kind of, you kind of have a healthier relationship with your fourth slot function than with your third in some sense. But she really doesn't want to be critiqued, criticized, given instructions about, or have any attention drawn to her SI. So equivalently, I got four slot SI. I'm I'm happy enough to delegate it, but I really don't want to be criticized on my SE. So since neither of us has an absolute value, the thing that the other one doesn't want to be criticized on, we don't criticize where we don't want to be, like, we don't criticize where the other person doesn't want to be criticized. People say that it's hard to get to know INFJs deeply. Have you got to the point of knowing her? Oh yeah. It is hard to get to know them deeply if they don't, unless they feel very safe. And what it means to get to know an INFJ deeply um, is in part recognizing that they've got an odd way of understanding themselves. They don't have good fluency with their subjective functions, so they look to external explanations of who they are to understand themselves. You know that you really are getting to know, you know that you're really close to an INFJ if you if they voice their insecurities to you. Because INFJs, as a general matter of course, do not share, do not reveal insecurities to others unless they feel very safe. They might reveal some very minor insecurity as kind of a way to um, lubricate conversation, I guess. Oh, nice play. Wow. Good job. Michigan looked good on that one. Golden looks like a pretty good player. He looked good last year, too. How is he still in college? Hasn't he been in college for like 10 years now or something? Trouble is not an INFJ. Trouble is an ENFJ. But he's also a toxic ENFJ. Was Downtown Julie Brown my favorite MTV VJ? No, I would say it was Kennedy. How much time is left in the game? A minute 35 in the second half, assuming it doesn't go to overtime. What's your opinion on INTPs? Have you had anyone in your life? Yeah, I knew an INTP. I worked closely with an INTP. She was my policy debate coach when I was director at Kudos for a while. She was tall, like 6 foot, more than 6 foot, you know. But I'm 6'5", and she was just maybe a couple inches shorter than me, it seemed like. And she's a really good debater, good coach. You know, not as not as active as I was. Like, she'd make make less shit, but it would be more. It would it would be more like more polished, I guess. I don't know. ISPs, they do have they have a tendency to do one of two things, and I'm just talking about them as debaters. Okay, they like to debate like water, which is to say, they don't want you to be able to pin them down on exactly what they mean by any of these terms that they're using. They like to use these vague terms to create tripods of nothing. You know, like, this meow word that doesn't really mean anything means this other meow word that doesn't really mean anything, which means this third meow word that doesn't really mean anything which means, of course, the first one again. INTPs they're tough to debate against because of that, because they're very excellent at not being pinned down. But the other thing they like to do is spike out every possible thing that, which is, this is something, this is not a problem that Denise Kimball had, the one I worked with, but I've had INTP debaters, and what they want to do is they want to put in their AF case a shit ton of spikes. Like, my opponent might say this, but if he does say it, cross it off the flow as he's saying it, because I already have the rebuttal already set up for it. It's called spiking shit. And I tell them, look, you cannot spend so much time spiking out everything. Yes, you can anticipate all of these things they might say, but you're using up too much of your time spiking arguments that they also might not make. No, Kamala Harris is not an INTP. Kamala Harris is an ESTJ if I've ever seen one. So, the other thing about INTPs is it doesn't matter if they're in seventh grade, they think they know better than me, okay, about debate stuff. And I have to tell them, look, dude, you're not, you're not being strategically NI enough. You're trying to do too much scattershot shit, like cover too much ground. You need to present, a shapely woman, not a bunch of blotches. INTPs think if they can cover everything, cover all of the arguments possible on the flow, and they can go fast enough, then that's the best way to go. But it's not the best way to go. But Denise Kimball, the INTP coach I hired, she was state champion. If my team had gone to states that year, I likely would have competed against her. Me and my partner would have competed against her and her partner. Because back then they just had policy debate. And who knows who would have won. But we didn't go to states that year. I qualified. Me and my partner qualified. And no, the game's not over yet. I paused it because I was chatting about something. Fast forward through this commercial. Okay. It is currently 79 to 76 in favor of Michigan. Maryland is going to be inbounding the ball. Typology today says Camel is a narcissist. I don't know if she's a narcissist or not, but she's has a very unacceptable relationship with truth. Maryland going for the 2-pointer. Oh, that's traveling. They didn't call it. Wow. That's the bunny hop in the pea patches, Chick Hearn used to say. All right, well, it's a 1-point Michigan lead. Maryland fouls the guy with the smashed looking nose. I don't know what his name is. Wolf? Okay. Yeah, that was a travel, if you ask me. But, the rest never asked me. My phone's on. If they wanted to call, they could call and ask me, but they never do. Wolf misses the free throw, rebounded by Maryland. 9 seconds left. Timeout as they cross half court with 7.5 seconds left. Maryland will be inbounding the ball on their offensive side of the court here, in the half court where Michigan's basket is. So they'll have time enough to get a good shot off. They should. They're down by 1 point. I thought they were. How did they end up down by 1 point? Oh, I've tried. He missed that free throw. So it's just a 1-point game. Wow. So we will see what happens here as Maryland has the ball, down by 1, 7.5 seconds left. Very unlikely to go to overtime because either Maryland's going to make a 2 or a 3 with basically no time left and win, or they're going to miss and lose. Possible, however, they could get fouled, make one of the free throws, miss the other one. It's possible. But I don't think so. Officials don't like to call fouls in this kind of situation. Although they sure call it against SC ridiculously. A horrible Purdue game. It's fine. I don't care about the USC men's team anymore. I'm caring about the USC women's team. Oh, fouled. He is fouled. And number 15 is like, that's a foul? Homie slips and kind of runs into me and I get called for the foul? And he's got a good case to be made there. Okay, yeah, it's a foul. That's a foul. My bad. That's a blocking foul. Don't even put your arms up like that. What percentage chance do you give the U.S. of annexing Panama, Greenland, or Canada in the next 4 years? I mean, maybe purchasing Greenland? I don't see us annexing any of those places. All right, well, 5.3 seconds left. Maryland, Derek Queen is at the free throw line. He's a 75.7% free throw shooter, but from the line today, he's 7 for 7. He's going to need at least one of these to tie it up. The first one is good, 79-79. He'll be shooting this second free throw for a 1-point lead. And Michigan, I'm not sure if they have timeouts left or not. If they don't, they're going to have to go fast. He made them both. Maryland is up by 1 point. Michigan gets the ball in with 5 seconds left. Drives down the length of the court. Goes up to the basket. Makes it with 0.1 seconds left. Michigan looks to be the winners of this game unless some miracle happens in the last 0.1 seconds. They might put another 0.2 or 2 on there. Might be 0.3 seconds, but I think this is game over. The only possible thing Maryland can do is heave it inbounds and tip it from. That was crazy. It was. I mean, you could see it coming. You could see him splitting the defense right there. Bam! He splits the defense, and you can see the Maryland defenders have their backs toward him as they're trying to get back towards the basket. You can just see it developing. As soon as he split them on the backcourt, split those two defenders in the backcourt, you can just see, oh shit, he's going to take this all the way to the hole. I don't really care. I don't have a horse in this race, so. I guess I like Michigan because I like Dusty May and I like the FAU story, and I'd like to see that legacy kind of continue to play out. You know, Maryland almost got a tip. Really, at the end. We almost had a makeable tip with 0.3 seconds left or whatever. Good job, Michigan. Congratulations. You get to play against. You get to play against Michigan. No, Wisconsin. You get to play against Wisconsin tomorrow. That was good. That was a fun game. I enjoyed that.
Runs 2-7 here. If you have this exact, this is a nice exacta. It's a neat horse to keep doing this.
Yeah, I saw the end of that game, Putty Cat. It was not a penalty. Like Izzo at all, or Like, he found me. Didn't even touch his ass. I'm watching horse racing, actually.
This dude from Kendrick Carmouche on the 7. The 7 ended up putting the 4 away. People was a big favorite early, and then they had to put that one away late.
I don't know, where is this being run at even? Oaklawn.
2-1. That's where this horse
Where's
was
Oaklawn?
Amazing at Fairgrounds. Melly's Birkin, the card today. Good call. 2, your favorite. I'm surprised that the 10 horse is your favorite here.
Wow. Isn't that all fine and dandy? Oh yeah, I've been attracted bet on the horses because when I lived in Arcadia, my parents' house was like just a couple of, it was within pretty easy walking distance of Santa Anita racetrack. So I've been to the racetrack plenty of times. All right, well, I guess I'm going to wrap up the stream, and I'm going to watch Solo Leveling on Crunchyroll. And by the time that's done, I should be about ready to take a nap. Arizona is playing Houston in the Big 12 championship game right now. I'm rooting for Arizona, obviously, because even though they're not in the Pac-12 anymore, I think of them as Pac-12 soon. Anyway, I'm going to chill, watch a little bit of things, and then go to sleep. So thanks a lot for being here. Don't forget to eat plenty of cheese. And I love you all.